Well, welcome to Drawing with Jim. We're going to be doing something different every week, and I'm going to keep these lessons short and easy to follow. So let's talk about turning circles into spheres. What you're going to need today is paper. Toned is best if you can. That means kind of an off-white, but white will work. Soft pencil, 6B or better, or charcoal. A blending stump, tortillon, cotton swab, your finger, something to blend with. You'll need an eraser, if possible a kneaded eraser, and something to make a circle with, whether it's the top of a jar or whatever. And then if you want to do it with the kind of medium I'm working with, then you'll need an iPad with Procreate and an Apple Pencil. So how do we turn a circle into a sphere? Let me walk you through the process. Now first I'm going to draw my circle. And the circle, I'm going to use the 6B pencil setting, which is a pretty soft setting. You can use a 2B, but the softer the pencil, better. If you have charcoal, that's good too. Now, I just switched over to HB, which is like a number 2 pencil, like your regular school pencil. I'm choosing black for my color. And you can tell I'm drawing on a gray surface. Now, here's how I make my circle. Procreate makes the circle for me, so that makes it a whole lot easier. But I want it, for a sphere, you want the circle to be as perfect as possible. So that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so now I have my circle drawn, and I'm going to, let's see what I'm going to switch to here. I'm on an HB pencil. Now I'm going up, I believe, to 6B, which is the softer pencil. And so now I'm going to just start coloring in. Now, if you're using a regular pencil, don't press hard. That's why you want a soft pencil, because you want to lay down your color or your graphite, but you don't want to make such deep impressions in the paper that you can't blend. So even though this looks super dark, you want to just go as just a light touch, but you want to put it in there, but just don't press hard. So I've done kind of almost a crescent moon type shape on the right side, and now I'm drawing on the outside. The first part I was drawing on the inside of the circle. Now I'm drawing on the outside, and I'm just laying down the color, or the black, if you will. You'll notice I'm using a reference off to the side, just water droplets seen right from the top. So I'm not trying to show any particular angle here, but just going to work on getting that rounded sphere type shape. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm now blending. Now again, depending on the size of your circle, if you're drawing a fairly big one, you might be able to use your finger. You can use a cotton swab. Those work fairly well. You can roll up a piece of tissue. That will work. If you have an art supply store and want to get a blending stump, that's a kind of a big gray stick that's just basically rolled up paper, or a tortillon, which is smaller, and it's also rolled up, but it's not as heavy or solid as a blending stump. But either one of those will work. Okay, so now I have done some shading inside the sphere and outside the sphere. And what I'm going to do here as I smooth this out, I'm eventually going to come back into the sphere and carry that blending a little bit more throughout it, because I actually want my light source to be coming from the right. But I am toning this, so it's going to be darker than the paper. So as you'll see here, now I'm going to come in and I'm going to take the rest of that and I'm going to just basically smooth around and get the overall tone of the sphere a little bit darker than my paper. And when I say use a toned paper, again, you don't have to. You can do this on white paper. But I just find that my results are always a lot better when I'm working with toned paper. So now I've switched my colors. I'm going to white. Now again, there are two ways to do this. If you just tone the entire sphere, then you can actually do this with an eraser. You can lay in your color and then lift that pigment off of the paper. I'm using essentially what would be the equivalent of a white piece of chalk or a really soft white pastel pencil, and I'm adding the highlight off onto the right side now. And I'm just going to keep adding a little bit. The reason I add a little bit and then blend it in, I don't want to add so much that it overdoes it and then I have to go back and take it back out. It's very easy to do that with an iPad. You just hit undo. But if you're working with physical media, then you sometimes want to take your time, and it's going to be different depending on what you're using. You're going to use your own judgment as you do this, and you'll notice in the sample picture I've done more than one. This is a great little exercise just for beginning to get a feel and a touch for blending and creating form out of shape. Because when we draw a circle, we're drawing a flat surface. We want to learn how to draw a sphere and other surfaces that appear to have that form or 3D. So I'm going to come back in and just increase my highlight a little bit. The more highlight you have, the smoother the surface will look. And again, if you look at the sample picture, there's evidently a really bright light shining down onto those droplets. So you're getting a really bright highlight there. Here we're just having a little touch. I'm throwing a little bit of a highlight on the bottom end of the sphere just to have a little reflected light there. And that's pretty much it. It's a fairly simple process, and it's one that is going to help you as you begin to learn to draw what you see and work through art class. I would suggest, again, if you haven't taken our art class series, that's going to teach you how to draw, and even in more detail than what I'm doing right now. So I hope you enjoyed this. Very simple little drawing. Just learn how to draw some spheres. Practice that, and next week we'll be back with a different drawing. Thanks. I'm Jim Pence with See the Light. Thanks for watching.